Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sparrows Epilogue. Ooh, we got some new faces here. Well, a new face and possibly some other new faces when it comes to art and things. But tonight's events are basically just around what the hell happened after that major crazy event, after the fight against Dead Iron, after Sylvia stole their ship. And unfortunately may have gotten rid of it in a way, not even purposefully. Maybe I'll share that video as well if I can find it here in the future. But for now, we are going to go around the table. We're going to say hello. Who are we? And who were we playing? And will we still be playing them next season? That's an important statement. Hey Doyle, resubscribe saying Kitty. Hi, hey Doyle. How are you, Doyle? Glad to see you out there. And yes, that is the cutest of Kitty. Give me a +1 on my next roll already, Benjamin. Thank you for that. Uh, so first things first, we shall go and 1, 2, 3. There's 6 of us here now. Sure, we'll go random. We'll use a D6. And we'll see who goes first. So first up tonight is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be Jackal. You're up first. Tell us who you are and who your character was, and are they still going to be around? Which you can get into more detail on later.
Sure, spoil it all at once. Hey folks, I'm Jackal, local connoisseur of costuming, fabrication, and occasional I think the patch is in somewhere. I do the recap, which for those of you who don't often have the time to catch up on something, you got a quick 5-minute recap. I play currently Amos Descendi. Will that change? Who knows? It's all up to our wonderful GM. But
Indeed.
I can't do this all myself, folks. So I'm gonna pass the mic off to Taiwan.
You'll be moving from there to the other new face, to Atomic, up top. Hey, who are you? Why are you here?
Hey everybody, I'm here because Ty told me to be here. I don't actually know what's happening. I need an adult. Please help me. Blink twice if I'm in danger. But no,
Right.
I'm Atomic Zero. I am a variety streamer, but also more so now, TTRPG or both player and showrunner or DM. Have a new show coming out in the turn of the new year with Mr. Benjamin down there on the screen. I will be playing, and I gotta make sure I actually say all the names right. Solfith's Aether Coil. He is a tiny little gnome who may or may not have gone crazy from doing too much of the dark side thing. And frankly, he is also an Aether Mage. I'm excited to be an Aether Mage. I think I played one once before, and I'm excited to bring some Aether chaos to the group. He actually is, and Ty, please remind me the sub race name, but the type of gnome that is a little too far gone. Actually, kind of a little bit
Sparrow.
crazy. Yeah,
Yep.
certifiably crazy in the head.
Yeah, if you remember, you played 119 a while back, where you had been
Yeah.
worried that one individual was starting to become Sparrow, and you get to play one now. So we haven't had enough crazy people on this show before. I'm sure that won't turn into any other problems at all. It'll be great, especially someone who has powerful cosmic forces at hand at all moments. I mean, that's never a recipe for disaster.
Maxing out magic and chaos is all that I'm really doing.
Atomic, I'm just shocked that having watched the show, I presume you decided that the ship needed more chaos.
That's what Ty said.
That's
I
a
said,
good point.
Like, what do you want me to do? He's like, well, they could use these things. I'm like, well, what would be the best version of that thing? He's like, an Aether Mage. Like, done.
Yep. And then he's like, well, based on the character idea that I have, I think Sparrow fits the best. He's just gone a little crazy.
It's Sparrow. Yeah, Svero.
Svero. And the last
I will
Sparrow.
make sure to stock extra tranquilizers.
Sparrow is the gnomish word for mad. So they are those that have dabbled a little too far into the magic and seen it peer back and have now gone insane. The last insane person we had was very, important, influential, as a matter of fact, saved the entire crew by eradicating
And
themselves
Boomdust.
from existence. Yes, yes. So moving on from there, Nora, you're up. Who are you playing? Are you still playing them? And what can we expect?
Hey, I'm Nora. You can find me. Are we doing that?
If you want to, go for it. This is
Okay.
a free world. Sparrows fly
Well,
free.
you can find me on Misguided Souls every month or so, on this very channel, as well as on Cornfields and Kobolds, a 5th edition actual play podcast where we just finished recording the Tyranny of Dragons line. It's going to be a few months before the episodes are posted, but we are steadily releasing still. And yeah, I play Clarion Bell, the bad robot medic tinker who likes to tinker with people's bodies and will continue to do so. But I think in the upcoming season has now gained a purpose beyond simply running away. And it has decided that the Aether Sphere needs no masters and no empires.
That can't, an AI that suddenly believes that it should cast off the shackles of all that currently rule. I mean, that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that's not a big bad in the making. No.
No, no, no. Like, we don't have a bunch of those in this crew, to be honest.
I'm gonna need more coffee for this.
And speaking of, Misguided Souls will likely be a bi-weekly pretty soon, actually, for a
Yay.
while.
Ooh.
So look forward to that. I think our next episode's next week. Next Thursday? I think so. Yeah. Anyway, from here we move on down to Kai Mascane.
Hello. I'm your resident big bad evil guy in the making. My name's Kai Roche. I play Life Fight every night. Captain when the ship was around. And Prince of
Captain of
the
our
Elven
hearts.
Kingdoms,
Prince of our hearts
Just-
as well.
just a little man out in the world in the seas. Yeah. I play a space badass.
A space badass. And then we have, last but not least, McSherry. Gwen, you're up.
Another big bad in the making, or I like to think so. Hi, everybody. I'm Gwen, also known as McSherry. I'm usually over in chat, modding it up, but on Fridays I get to play B, and I plan on continuing to play B because the Empire's got to burn, man.
Tear it all down. Tear it all down. That's the idea. So, when it came to the last episode, we ended relatively
Hi, everyone.
quickly.
My name is TT
We're just
Benjamin. You can find me on
no,
Twitter.
no. We're just gonna skip right past.
Last and actually least.
No, we just don't. No, we're not even. You're gonna already say Shakespeare. I mean, I'm not giving you that extra time, Benjamin. All right, fine. Go ahead.
I mean,
I made a joke that I was going to lengthen the runtime by reading Shakespeare sonnets. I'm not actually going to do that. Instead, I'm going to read the complete transcriptions of my podcast, Lawful Great Adventures,
Jesus.
of which
Ooh.
I am the host and DM. I'm not actually going to do that. If you want to experience the show, you have to listen to it like a normal person. We're on hiatus. We're going to launch in January. We're working on campaign 2. It's really exciting. I am also on the Lawful Great Adventures subsidiary podcast, Tell You Ride, hosted by Rabbit. You can find him, Rabbit, on Twitter. It's a good time. It's a lot of fun. That's with Ray Mayhem, Kylan, and Zadkill.
And can I say, you're getting in on the ground floor with that show, which is very good. All of the members there are exquisite character-wise, and everybody ships the two individuals who hate each other entirely, and it's beautiful.
I'm one of the characters that hate each other. It's mortifying to me because I don't like being part of romance subplots in table games.
Oh, okay then.
I don't. Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I was playing Red Iron on Sparrows, and then Red Iron unlifed themselves. Pretty cool. It was pretty cool. If you were there, you had to be there. And right now I am playing the Reverend Parson Roland St. James September, who is also an elf undercover, who has a mysterious, ephemeral, potentially cult-like destiny. So BBE in the making.
Another one. Yes.
Yet another.
I think everybody here fits in really well with that one step to the left, become the enemy that the entire universe hates.
We're pirates.
Exactly. So I'm
Uh,
very excited to see where you go with this. So last time we left off, now that I can
No, hold on,
officially
hold
do
on,
this,
hold
and I'm
on.
not free. Oh, whoa. Okay, yeah. You go.
That's
You
my
go right
job.
ahead. You go right
That's
ahead.
my job. If I may.
Go for it.
All right, folks. My name's Mac Jekyll. I'm here with the recap. You know that shtick already. Yada yada blah blah. Okay, so meanwhile, Myocenas, our intrepid crew had entered the stratosphere, passing an Empire checkpoint in order to get on the ground and finish the Sil threat once and for all. However, the moment they get there, they're subcontracted by Kiara and Clay. Needless to say, it's a full mercenary situation with B and Clarion knocked off the ship. That's a story for another time. The long and short of it is they're flying in low under the radar, and the next thing you know, Sky Kraken. Of all things, Sky Kraken. Because Ty loves to watch us suffer. Needless to say, the threat is rapidly dispatched at the cost of a few arms and legs, so nothing the Reverend can't replace. They drop down, and as they check their work, Amos runs on ahead, thinking that B is down there in the hole with Sylvia. Turns out it's a trap. You see Red Iron stocked up, all full of Syl, no lizard to speak of, standing there just like they own the place. Leifei follows along with the rest of the group, and heavy fighting ensues as everyone converges on the main area. Red Iron wants to turn everything into Syl. Skynet has awoken. The end is nigh. Sparrows to battle. And after a serious amount of sandbagging, Red Iron is transformed into a penguin and sliced in half by Leifei. Chaos!
Yep.
Which pretty much brings us to now. The crew is recovering. Amos hasn't lost any arms. And back to you, Ty.
That's I mean, you can't say it's wrong at all. It leaves out a few key details, but it's definitely, oh my goodness, that was a bit of a thing. So
It's been a few weeks.
it has been a few weeks.
And a few episodes.
So when it comes to the events of the end of the show, we happen to have seen everybody kind of clear out from this underground base from Eidolon. And as they are rushing back towards their ship, the Archimedes lifts off and takes off into the void without all of you aboard. As it is flying away, you recognize the telltale markings of Syl. You see some of the damage to the side of the hull when you nearly split the ship in half, slowly like weaving itself back together, and it flying off into the distance. Nearby, you had seen another airship slowly coming towards you over the horizon as you see James Hain and the Onleys moving towards you to assist you. So they had arrived. They had stopped, questioned you, indicated that you needed some assistance, some sort of pickup. And as they went to load you on board the ship, in the distance, the Archimedes exploded. Boom. So from that telltale moment, standing there, seeing everything starting to kind of be just blasted into waste, I want to know how all of you reacted to that. So we'll start off with B first.
Oh, goodness. Carrot! Sparrow! The new cook! Collins! Where'd they all go?
The new cook.
Clarion! They're all gone.
Oh, I have something for this, and would we have gotten our level up benefits yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Wait, I don't have. Let's go see if anyone's survived.
Check.
Yeah, we it. Ugh.
To
Grabbing a
be
boat.
to be fair, the cook was already dead.
Shut up.
That was
Excuse
true.
me. Excuse me. What did you do to the cook?
Shut up. Let's just see if there's survivors. I'm beyond done with all of this.
Hey,
So, you had traveled trying to find your way to whatever you could see when it came to the wreckage. You saw bits and pieces of the Archimedes kind of scattering down from the sky. And all you find is a smoldering belt. Happens to have the word boom written across the buckle, as well as fragments and pieces of the old ship. Some of the parts of the inner cabin that have just been burnt away. And that seems to be it.
God damn it, Scarborough.
Bee's going to dig around looking for Barnabas.
Uh, what-
Amos has Barnabas.
yeah, Amos already has Barnabas.
Amos has
The
always
little-
had Barnabas.
He had stuffed Barnabas inside of his jacket, if you remember, because it has the electric eternal with him.
Clarion would like to sweep the area for life signs.
You don't find any.
Amos is going to call out as far as they can for any sort of mental response.
You stumble through the swamp a little ways. Amos kind of moving away from the rest of the party. Everybody kind of expands outward in a concentric ring temporarily. And it is after a few hours that Amos finds someone respond weakly to them in the muck.
And instantly they jet a message out to Clarion. On my signal, get here now. Forget
Double time.
everything. I found someone.
So everybody kind of bolts off in the direction, and you see Carrot laying there in the mud, like scattered up to his hips, obviously very damaged, individual bones broken and whatnot, with Cullen's glass case jar sitting next to them, a large welt on Carrot's head, and a fractured glass that has some of the fluid leaking out of it. Clarion, looking at it, you can tell that it is rather seriously damaged. You're not entirely certain if Cullen's is okay or not.
Okay, well, let's open up the boo boo box and basically put Carrot bodily into it, and it just like attaches various like IVs and painkillers and stuff.
All right, so you are supporting and taking care of Carrot, and as they start making a bit of a recovery, Carrot's psyche isn't the same. We start having a little bit of a forward transition in time. So what happens next? Leife, you're still technically the captain everybody listens to. So do you travel with James, or do you head on foot over to the nearest skyport, try to find a way off world from there? You don't have a ship. So what direction do you head, and I'll tell you what happens.
We travel with Haim for a while.
Okay. So he indicates, of course, that you needed his assistance. He was glad he could be here to help. He wished that you had all taken a different route before, but he can understand the lack of concern. He and Cutlass never saw eye to eye. But maybe you all could make a little bit of a difference, a little bit of a change in the future. And he brings you back to Saberhold. As you all travel back there, Carrot becoming a bit of a darker individual over time. We see all of you at Saberhold trying to reconnoiter. Upon arriving there, upon getting your bearings and heading back to Sparrow's headquarters, you are greeted by Donnie, who's standing there just kind of awaiting to speak with each and every one of you. And yes,
On the journey, Clarion, as soon as Carrot is stable, would want to look at the jar just to see if there's anything salvageable.
the jar is fractured, but seems to have had a bit of a softer landing, being that it landed on Carrot's head.
Okay, just repair the jar, refill the fluids, run diagnostics, see what the status of Cullen's is, if at all.
Cullen's is, a brain in a jar, but is also mostly comatose at this state. You think that even if you place him back inside of a body, it's going to take some time to get them to reconstruct their psyche to make them whole again. But you're going to need to find some way to do that. Fortunately, there is a very well-known cyber surgery agent on board Saberhold that does a lot of bodily work for individuals. As a matter of fact, Donnie pointed him out to you at one point. That's where he got all of his work done. So maybe if you have the money, the collateral, or are willing to do some jobs in the future, you could get your friend fixed.
Okay.
So aboard there, you again meet up with Donnie outside of the Sparrows offices. And let me see if I got his voice right. Hello, is this him? This is not him. Close enough. There, he's got a little bit of this in there. Excellent. All right. I happen to say that you did okay as far as things were concerned, dealing with the sill, taking out the sky kraken and all of that. But you see, I brought my reports back to the Admiral, and he's decided that you all need to be separated. You're going to be grounded for a while. He's going to take away... I'm sorry, Lei Fei. He's stripping you of your rank. He will not be providing you a ship.
I lost my first mate privilege. What? Wait.
Now, you were supposed
right,
to
yeah,
be
you can take
captain,
that.
remember? Oh well. So yeah, bearer bad news and all that. As soon as the Admiral has a moment, he's off on a mission of his own. He's going to find a new home for each and every one of you on a different ship. Think that maybe that would be the best thing to do. Take some time, think about it. If you're still okay with that, meet back here in the offices in about a week.
But we're family. You're the only family I have.
All the Sparrows
we-
are family, B. All you gotta do is keep in touch.
Okay.
This is a staggering amount of bureaucracy for what is essentially a pirate organization.
It's not your typical pirate organization. I think you're beginning to see. The Admiral has more of a ideologue style to the way that he does things. When it comes to taking out specific targets, dealing with certain members of the Empire, with drug barons, and stealing things from individuals that are out there, he picks and chooses his targets carefully. It doesn't seem like you did that up to his expectation.
Donnie, I just got here.
I meant you as in the general everyone here, not you specifically. Yeah, I already understand that.
So then, do I get to choose my commission?
Certainly.
Excellent.
You handled yourself quite well. Although, I might recommend a different approach rather than turning yourself into a bug. And then pile driving giant sky krakens in the future. It's kind of dangerous.
I made a promise that what we would do would be very sick, and I keep my promises.
It was very sick.
Yeah.
Very sick. So you
It was a
all
promise.
have your wings clipped by the Admiral and Donnie, and the Sparrows technically have put you all
Donnie.
on suspension from operating due to the fact that you're seen as relatively incompetent as a group.
Okay, not wrong, but Clarion still wants to know the exact reasoning that Cal used.
The very first thing he said was, they're fucking idiots for dealing with the sill and not immediately destroying it.
That is entirely fair.
Pot meat kettle, number 1, and number 2. We actually got loot.
Well,
It
I
doesn't
find that
matter if one
incredibly
isn't
funny.
upheld.
That doesn't change the fact that results are results. You had a few very important members of our own history destroyed, our friends and family killed. You lost your ship, had it shattered, brought back Nyria, who we spent an entire 5-6 years trying to destroy before, and now all because of a poor decision.
So the Admiral is blaming the resurrection of an entire Syl facility on us?
He thinks that you're tied to it intrinsically. The entity you know as Sylvia wasn't there before, according to his research. I don't know. So
Yes, Sylvia is definitely our fault, but I found evidence that a scientist on Myosinus had restored some of the Syl technology prior to our arrival, and in that case, he should also be tracked down and eliminated as a threat.
Is that so?
Yes,
Who was this individual?
Patches, my former master.
Doesn't ring a bell. I'll swing it by Cal, see what he has to say about that. If you can prove that there was more involved than just the accidents you caused, maybe you can be reinstated sooner.
I will submit my memories.
Thank you. And with that, we see all of you kind of gathering about, leaving the facility, and just living on Saberhold for a little bit of time. What does that look like? And at this point in time, what does your life currently look like, Atomic, with your character? As you are also boarding this pirate outpost. Saberhold is a massive station that moves about the Aethersphere and is basically like Tortuga. It's like a pirate city that's in it's in space.
I think for my character, it's a lot of this is a junction point. You know, what's the next step? I need to keep a step ahead. You know, this is just I can at least have this trip to think about things, process things. But as soon as it's over, I have to keep moving again. Like it's just he's constantly just processing and on the move.
Obviously, trying to stay one step ahead of whatever it is that's chasing him. I got it. Oh, you're muted there if you're talking.
Apparently, I muted myself again. But yeah, it's kind of like no one should be looking for me here. This should be relatively a safe space, but you never know.
True, true. And you know that with your time in the organizations you used to be part of and that you ran with, that there could be eyes anywhere, even here.
Exactly.
So, as we see you kind of moving about, let's see, aboard this station, we will now move to you bumping into someone within the station. Who would you like to bump into first? Just give me one of the cast members here, and we'll see what happens.
I would say let's go with Roland.
All right, so Roland,
Roland.
you are currently with. I'm gonna say you're with the captain, and the two of you are kind of walking through Saberhold, discussing what your next steps are gonna be. Not being a pirate, you mean you came here, you got hired to be a sparrow, and then immediately grounded because you were associated with these fools. How do you react to that?
Why, Roland does not. Obviously, that's how it was supposed to go.
The path.
Roland has been spending his time mostly checking in on the grounded crewmates, assessing their spiritual health, and spending a fair amount of time with Leifei, if by Leifei's leave, because they have quite a bit in common.
True. So what do we see as the two of you round the corner and you end up bumping into Atomic's character? I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. What is her name again?
His name is Solphus.
Solphus.
Solphus Aver Coil. Did I already delete my thing? Oh,
Solphus Aether
yeah,
Coil.
Solphus Aver Coil. Most of the time, I would say probably almost no one knows him by that name anymore. He almost only goes by his code name, which is Umbra.
All right.
He almost never uses his proper name.
So
Solphus, yeah.
if you're not using Solphus and you go by Umbra, that's actually a pretty good name to have in Saberhold. Somebody who, you know, has an alias. What does the scene look like? Leifei and Roland, give me what you're saying as you round the corner and this individual is there. So whatever you want to be talking about, it could be related to being grounded or whatever, but something juicy.
The important thing is that you have to leave them at a boil for 2.5 minutes exactly. Any more than that, and they're gonna get soggy. Any less, and it's too chewy. And then what you do, here's the real secret, you add the egg after you have turned the heat off. That way the egg creates kind of a runny, broth-like substance.
I see. We didn't have a whole lot of eggs over on Mayo, so I was never figuring too much on boiled.
Wait, what do you
So
mean?
that's-
You just take it out of the packet and you just eat it with the powder on top of it? Like
Well, no, we just sort of eat the egg and, well, yeah, sort of. Put the powder in afterwards.
So these two are talking about ramen recipes as you walk around the corner and bump into them.
I think so. Solstice is he's a smaller gnome. He is older from if you've ever seen a gnome before. He's definitely on the older side of things, kind of like what you would imagine to be like retirement age for most gnomes. Generally a creepy and off-putting individual, I would say. He has various expressions of just like dark edges. His hair was once one color; it's going another color. His eyes look like they're slowly morphing into black. It used to be another color, but it's slowly creeping in. And like as soon as you come around this corner and you bump into something that's probably noticeably a lot shorter than you, uh, the reaction I think would immediately be something such as he's so on edge that he would it almost be like a step back. His eyes would go full black, like some kind of element would appear in his hand. In this moment, probably something like fire would appear in his hand, and he would like have that moment of like, okay, this isn't bad. You just bumped into someone and try to put it like all away.
So I'm gonna help a little bit with motivation. Self, as you're looking for a way off of Saberhold.
Mhm.
You came here as a way to escape, and since then you found yourself down on your luck when it comes to finding the next direction you need to head to accomplish your own personal goals. You've been looking for a crew that's willing to let you work for them. You've been looking for some suckers you could convince to do various things. You've been looking for something other than the boring drudgery that is now your daily life stuck here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So as you turn the corner, you see these two individuals, Leife and Roland. This little gnome there, who obviously just suddenly has powers manifest. To Roland, immediately you see the path consumed temporarily as he's standing there before you, and it just fades away like it doesn't exist, then spirals out in every direction.
Oh, I'm sorry, my friends. It's my apologies. I didn't mean to get in your way, in per se. It's but my height, it's hard to keep a watch of these things as you go around the corner. And yeah, you seem like very, very fine individuals. Yes, very fine, upstanding individuals.
We're a little low on coin, friend. So I'm afraid we're not going to be able to afford whatever you have for sale.
Listen here, you little butt. I mean, no, I come off on the wrong foot. No, I'm not looking for any type of coin. I'm literally just someone who's, in between life stages, trying to make some connections, shake some hands. And you could say I recently landed here, like a bird set adrift on the wind. And I'm just, looking to make some contacts, just trying to get a lay of the land.
As this gnome stands before you, staring at you and kind of throwing you slightly off guard, you see their eyes slide to the right a little bit. When Selphis, you notice the shadows there kind of forming into this nebulous shape nearby, looking over.
Oh, they're looking, they're looking, they're looking. You.
And he just kind of like nervously like pivots around, so like the light changes direction around him.
The shadow
And he
kind of
just kinda-
fades over to the
Yeah,
side.
it's just like
I just didn't know you two look like you've been around here quite a bit. Do you think you might be able to show someone the ground? Show someone the ropes.
Lefe has his hand like still held out, and he's trying to see if Sophus has noticed it.
what I noticed, like as like for a shake or just like or something.
Yeah, he had a handshake,
Oh.
so he's just been standing there with his hand out, staring at you.
Hand. Yes. Yeah.
Like it takes a moment of just like he's like, yeah, people do this, and he's just kind of like,
Here you go.
Lefe Arene, and you?
You can just call me Umbra. That's what most
Umbra.
people call me.
With your history, and with the brief moment when he says his last name, that is the name of the king of the elves, of the old elven monarchy. He just announced himself as at least heritage or related in some way to the ruling faction of the Tile.
When you go to like do like this, we just shook hands. Okay, we're gonna break off handhold. There's this strangely primal grip of just like not letting it go for a second, and there's this like shroud that kind of comes around his expression in terms of it deepening, and it is it's generally off-putting.
He puts his hand in front of his face and just sort of like does this. Hey, mate.
Roland reaches down and like disconnects the hands. All right, handshake limit is 3 seconds.
As
And it's
you
just
as you touch Selphus's hand and Leife's and move them away, the world around you kind of spins into this dizzying array of lights and you see a throne with a crown upon it, with dark shadows looking at the edges, and you see the entire aether sphere alight with flame temporarily.
Oh, I didn't know I would be meeting someone of your station, me lord, I should say, as he kind of takes this like mockery bow of a sort, and just, uh, my apologies. Didn't mean to keep you waiting with your handhold, but your reputation, your lineage precedes you.
Thank you, I suppose. I didn't think I'd meet somebody like you today.
Most people don't say. Most people say that same thing. They usually just don't get out a second thing before anything. But as I digress, it's yes, but yeah, I'm new in town, as you could say. Just I'm a person of various talents, various skills, and just trying to see if I could, you know, do the parody thing. Find a crew, join it, take up one of those roles, put on one of those many hats. But
Can you
yes,
cook?
I can cook things.
That's an answer.
What's your favorite ramen recipe?
Now, take a long time for this one.
Think hard.
So as you're asking him if he can cook, it comes to your mind that you don't have a ship. You don't really. You've been trying to gather the money for it, trying to see if you can either be reinstated into the Sparrows. You've even searched around a little bit, just get some gossip about what other crews might be looking. And the only one that you can find that seems to want some assistance is James Hain. But he's got these weird plans for you, and you're already aware of that. So as you are standing there, it comes out that, we don't currently have a ship, but we're definitely looking for crewmates. When Selphis goes, I know where you might get one.
So, are you all comfortable with non-upstanding work?
Oh,
Pirates.
finally! I've been waiting for this. I get aboard this group and it's a bunch of anti-government anarchists, which I'm not against, but I thought we were just going to be stealing silver from rich folk.
Would you like to steal something large, metal, and can fly from not so rich folk?
Well, it's not my decision, Captain.
How large, how metal, and how far can it fly?
And is it sentient?
It's not sentient.
Well,
No.
DM enters information here.
Selphis knows where you can find a ship that would be smaller than the Archimedes, but is technically a stealth vessel, something very good at hit and run, and thinks that he knows a way to get in. Selphis, for you, this is somebody that you and your contacts know is here now, and you know what his ship is like, and you know exactly what his schedule is because you've been plotting it out for a while now.
So, I really just need a crew. You see, I'm just one person, and typically speaking, I do very well by myself, and I can handle myself in a fray, and most people usually don't stand up to me very long. but I need a crew to fly the ship. It's hard as small legs and all, and I'm getting older in years, and the eyesight's going, and you just need someone to fly the ship sometimes. So if you all have a crew, I'm sure we could make some form of arrangement. My specialty is more in, let's just say, ushering people into a state of internal darkness. That's just kind of what I do.
Ushering people into a state of internal darkness.
Yeah.
So you run a casino or you're a bartender?
Sure.
Got him.
Sure. Whatever you think.
We have a crew, and we had a ship. But yeah.
So
Perhaps. We'd have to run it by them. That's where we're going, after all.
How much later is this?
This is like
this within the week, 1 week period?
Later, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So Selphis describes a ship named the Euclidean that he thinks that he can get you on if you all work together. And that is going to be our first episode of season 2 when we get to that point. When we move on from here, I will now switch over to Amos. Amos, after being disinterred from the Sparrows, after feeling a bit of despair and recognizing some of the problems that occurred, those nightmares that seem to have followed you all the way from Myosinus about your old home, what do we see Amos doing?
Amos is taking a nap for a moment. We get a shot of them lying there, just uncomfortably, like they're sleeping on something funny. The back of their mind, it's scenes of the still vision. Eventually, Amos wakes with a start, grabbing a pistol and checking the room, hammer down, before lowering it and turning to Carrot, who they've taken one last bastion and taken care of. Amos is going to walk over, shake Carrot awake.
Yeah.
Get up.
Amos, what time is it?
Who cares? Get up.
It's better be good. You see Carrot sit up on the bed.
You look tired of this.
Yeah, you could say that.
How about we just leave?
I don't.
What do we got here?
All I can see is the fire. All I can see is the fire.
Me too, kid. You been sleeping all right?
I mean, every time I close my eyes, there's nothing but nightmares there. So, no, not really.
Yeah, you get used to that after a few years.
Amos, I don't want to get used to that.
You don't. I'm sorry. They've sat down, they've had a chat, and this is a long time since then. It's Amos pretty much just backed Carrot into a corner to get them to tell everything that happened, and strangely enough, didn't bring all that to Leifei.
Yeah.
All right then. Do we have any cigars left?
I think we got one.
All right. I'm gonna go to the store, get some extra cigars. Do you want anything while I'm gone?
No, I appreciate it. I'm gonna try to get some more rest. And Amos, thanks for all you've done.
You're the only person that appreciates me here. I'm sorry I let you guys down. Oh, they pull out Sheldon's old brain and a piece of paper. If I'm not back within a few hours, run this to Clarion.
Okay. He grabs a hold of it.
Corner her if you have to.
That's what I'm good at.
Jerk. Amos gives them a friendly punch, sets out the last of their rations, and takes off their armor and goes.
We see Amos traveling one foot in front of the other at Saberhold, passing by the store, heading to a different vessel in the distance, or he'd chartered a flight off of Saberhold without everybody else. After a while, Carrot takes the little page and what remnants of Sheldon Mark I's brain there were left, and brings it. I guess that's it. Clarion, hi.
Garrett, hello. Are you here for another checkup?
No, not today. Although maybe
Have
some
you
sedatives.
reconsidered my offer to give you sleep aids?
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea.
Excellent. I will fulfill that prescription shortly.
Is Collins okay? Is he?
It will be a long road to restore Collins, but I have begun negotiations.
Some light in the darkness, I suppose.
It is paramount that we gain enough resources to afford his new body.
Yes, I think that finding a way to afford a lot of things is going to be important.
In the meantime, I have looked into renting a locker here, since this seems safer than a pirate vessel to store him.
True. I mean, when the alternative to theft from pirates is that the entire station will murder you, people tend to listen.
Indeed.
So I have this thing here. hands you over a little segment, which you can see is the memory core of Sheldon Mark 1. You didn't know that Amos had it
Oh.
after all this time.
Where did you get this carrot?
Amos gave it to me before he went to the store. He also gave me this letter. Here.
Yes.
Take that.
Clarion scans it quickly.
How do you want to do this, Jackal?
I got it set up.
All right, go for it. We can't hear it. It's too quiet.
All right. Can you play? You still have the link?
Give me a second. I'll grab it, and then I will play it
All right.
here, and you all can listen to it on the channel. I guess that's what we'll do. Where is it at? Come here, you. There it is. All right. Let's see. I need to save this here. What's that?
Wasn't me.
Okay. I'm hearing a thing, and it shouldn't have been there yet. Okay, there we go. Got it. Got it this time. Putting it on. Okay. Hey, everybody. We're not usually this airheaded with our decisions. Atomic, please stop judging us with those eyes. All right, here we go. Adding
That's
this
just all you
now.
like.
What's that? What did it now say?
I just said judge us how you like.
Judge us.
I
No.
judge these people constantly.
So we should have audio playing now on the stream, if you want to check it. Is it not playing? Oh, it's not. Okay, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
My closest confidant, Clarion Bow. It has been many bloody moons since I had first enlisted with the Sparrows and joined this, what I thought would be the greatest aspect of my life. Instead, there was treachery, dissent, and disregard for common care and understanding. Never have I lost an arm as many times as I have here. I thought he could turn it around, but clearly that battle that happened in the sky with whatever that was, I fought in vain to stabilize weapons. Weapons procured by putting my own lizard tail on the line. In the end, we lost another cook. And we lost the ship. I'm done. I'm done losing arms. I'm done fighting battles with no support. I'm taking the Eternal and the Toaster, and I'm leaving. And I hope to God the next bounty they put on the list isn't you. Tell our former captain off for me, will you? Regards. Former security officer Amos Nosendi. Wanted war criminal and failed parent. P.S. In addition to leaving you whatever equipment I can't carry with, I've also decided to leave you with the brains of the original Sheldon. As you can see, it's currently a little bit fried, but I'm sure you could put it to work somehow, somewhere. My closest confidant, Clarion Bow. It has been many bloody
Now
moons
it's resetting.
since I had first enlisted with the Sparrows.
So you get that paper from Amos, and you know that Amos is left. How do you react?
Clarion scans it with superhuman reading speed. And then folds it, and looks down at Carrot with concern and asks Carrot, Carrot, do you prefer to be handled truthfully from now on? Or shall I continue to pretend that you are innocent?
Mm, um, yeah, be truthful with me.
Amos didn't go to the store, Carrot.
What?
He left.
He left? Like,
He was tired of how our crew was handling ourselves and the lack of respect that he got on board. He felt as though he was throwing himself at problems that, unfortunately, his skills were insufficient to handle alone. I worry for him, but I don't believe he will be coming back anytime soon. I hope I can establish a way of contacting him. It would be nice to stay in contact, but I think we should prepare to find another security officer.
I, mm, mm. I gotta find him. You see Carrot like rush from the room, trying to run after Amos wherever he can.
Good luck. Give him my best wishes.
Keep Cullen safe till I come back.
Of course.
And Carrot flees, trying to find his friend, trying to find the fathery figure, the only Lesrin, the only kobold left in the crew. And we now move on to B. B, you come upon the scene after Carrot has just run past you out the door and fled away. You see Leifei, and you see Roland, and you see a new gnome come walking through the door. Of course, Selfies, Umbra, you see a child and an automaton inside the room that they both lead you back into to show you their crew. Now down 2 more members.
Have you found a new cook?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh.
Oh, you are referring to the gnome.
These are your crew members. These people. These are the ones you spoke about. The ones that we could do this with.
It certainly would be.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
About which part?
Excuse me, do what?
Hey, I don't mean to be rude, but what exactly what I had in mind.
As you stand there, Umbra, you notice that as the girl moves around, some sort of tethered entity, a very strong, very large one, seems to be being dragged behind her everywhere she walks. You can only barely see it at the edge of your consciousness.
Oh, you know what? I take it back. It's fine. I get it now. I get it.
Oh, you're very quick. All right. We have met a fellow here, a fellow Umbral.
Umbra, it's fine.
Umbra. He said
yeah.
that earlier. We've been on a long walk all the way over here, and we were trying to figure out some way to get a new ship.
Oh, we could use a new ship, Captain.
Do you have a lead, Umbra?
Oh yes, I know of a ship. I've had the old life, my old life, many old lives. Oh, we had connections here. I know of somebody, know of a thing, know of a ship that they have, know when they're not going to be around that ship. Yeah. I think we could get it out. I think we could, as long as you have a capable crew.
And this
I think you should
person,
do it. Yeah.
do they have powerful allies?
Does it matter? I mean, really?
Yes,
I mean,
it does matter.
I honestly didn't ask that part.
That didn't occur to
Leifei,
us.
remember what we discussed about making decisions?
No, I don't.
You should work on remembering that, and also make decisions with as much information as you can gather. Now, Umbra, continue.
Look, if people didn't want things to be stolen, they should do a better job about making sure they don't get stolen. Therefore, that means that they don't care it gets stolen. So it's fine.
They've got a point.
In the
We
good
stole
captain's
something.
defense, he did bring Umbra to you, Clarion.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, it's gonna be great. The ship will be fine. We'll get off of this place, and we'll figure out the rest later. It's fine.
I'm not saying this that Lefe did a bad job necessarily, just that he could do better.
So, a little gentle ribbing aside, as everybody here kind of gets to know who one another is, the heist starts to be planned here in the future, recognizing you need a little bit of assistance. There is a man on the inside that Umbra knows, someone who has recently gotten out of their own problematic circumstance that you believe would be optimal in assisting you, since you all learned that your powerhouse of a security agent and your enforcer seems to be gone. Umbra, we see you wandering the streets of Saberhold with one person at your side. Pick one real quick for me. Who are you bringing along?
Do I? What is the point of this journey? 'Cause-
You are going to try to convince someone who is kind of hell-bent on destruction to join you all to help in a task when they are nigh suicidal.
Would Umbra have any? He's not good in the whole personal side in terms of interpreting people. So
Mhm.
I think he would just grab who's literally ever by the door. He probably would even potentially grab like the worst person.
The first person you would have grabbed would have been B then, because she was standing there
Probably,
next to you.
Yeah,
So,
it's just like, oh, we gotta go, and just like go.
so Umbra takes you off and into the kind of shadier depths of Saberhold before making his way down to one of the greasier bars that's down there, where they see an individual sitting at the table, kind of eating some food nonchalantly, wearing a mask and kind of stuffing everything up underneath of it. Can you describe your character for us, Conrad?
Conrad, well, where to begin? They are, for all intents and purposes, a halfling chancer with a very nasty case of resting. Can I say that on stream?
Certainly.
Resting bitch face. From behind the rather odd and ornate mask that they have that's covered in teeth? Claws? It's just two yellow eyes peeking out from behind a hood. Conrad shovels the food into his mouth, checking left and right between each scarf, making very sure to keep an eye on whoever is approaching them.
So you walk over to the table. This was somebody who was an informant for a small period of time on Myosinus for your previous organization, Umbra. You also know them to be very vicious, very capable, and very unstable.
Yeah, he's like basically like one of my old CIs that I'm just hoping to like phone in a friend with.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Did we have a decent relationship, or was it a tenuous one?
I'd say it was a tenuous one. Conrad only kind of had loyalty to a very select few individuals. So likely worked with you begrudgingly because he was told to in the past and came to trust you at least a little bit.
Yeah. So I think Umbra would attempt to put on a pretty face, which does not actually help at all. And he's just like,
Hey, buddy, Conrad. Hey, see, you got a lot of good food there. Yeah. You want to do a job? You want to you want to steal a ship kind of job? This one is part of some crew that I found, and they seem sufficient enough to do the job. I,
Hi, Conrad. My name's Bee, and I'm
no,
a pirate.
I'm a pirate.
No sudden movements around him. Just trust me. It's fine.
Can I give you a hug? You look like you need a hug.
How much taller than Umbra is B?
Actually, B.
how tall is B?
B, your parent was your mortal parent. What were they again?
I think they were just Hume.
Yeah, it was a Hume. See,
I
you're
think
you're
she'd
like
be-
4'5", so B's like
Yeah.
a foot taller than
Yeah, at
Umbra.
least.
Yeah, that doesn't stop Umbra from looking down on her. Or
He
Conrad.
has a point.
True,
I mean,
either one of them.
He looks at everyone as expendable, so there's kind of always that kind of non-present look in his eyes. It's like, it's fine.
Conrad drops the act and stares over at Umbra. Another babysitting job. What am I doing with that?
Come on, voice.
Another babysitting job.
Well, this one you would actually be more of a primary contributor if you were. You weren't you're not really babysitting. You're more of the person. You're the expert in what you do.
Do you really
He older
think
than you.
bringing a child to a butcher's shop is a good idea?
You know how I do very specific things that cause very specific people to scream in terror until they die? Well, she has something that I anticipate does something similar
Oh,
behind her at all times.
you can see Sep.
What
That
she
makes
said.
more sense now.
I literally just met her about 20 minutes ago, so I'm not fully vetted on any one of these people, but a ship's a ship, right? You trust me? Look at this face. I mean, come on. We go so far back. Remember that time when... No, that was a bad time. Remember that... No, that was also a bad time.
We assassinated the
You...
painted lion.
Both of you hearing that, the Painted Lion was one of the primary hunters and enforcers for the Empire, a very powerful individual, and you all have come to hear the news stories that the Painted Lion has been missing for some time. That's a big statement to make.
Really then? All right. Square up, princess.
You're gonna fight B right now?
No, they're gonna go over to the side in the back alley and spar out.
All right.
Because Conrad smells bullshit. And when Conrad smells bullshit, he's gonna beat it out of someone.
So Conrad takes B and Umbra into the back and proceeds to press his luck. And we see Conrad spinning end over end out of the alleyway, cartoon-wise, after a little while. A little bit of rage crosses his face, and for a split second, we see his eyes start to widen and change, and before he draws it back into himself. Not the right place to do this at, Conrad.
Is that enough proof?
I take that back. You're not full of shit. You're full of hot air.
Exactly.
It can be cold if it's better.
So we see Conrad join up with the group to act as an aggressive and angry arm, what he's best at. And you now have an enforcer on board the crew, this new crew, that will be looking towards the future, stealing the Euclidean, and deciding what they're going to do next. Now we're going to have a bit of a Session Zero type situation where we try to explore what aspects of our character we want to discover or want to potentially have in the next season. And since he's new, we'll come back to you in a moment, Selfiz, as we give you some time to kind of consider what that might be. But we'll move to Roland first. So, Benjamin, what do you want to see? What aspects of Roland and the future of the game do you want to see direction-wise?
Roland has discovered a powerful spark through his connection with Leifei. Instant and immediate, nigh familial. Not actually familial, but nearly familial. And so Roland is going to follow Leifei to the ends of the earth. That is that's where the path is. That guy right there. Roland is also going to flex his spiritual counselor muscles, and given that Roland has heard that part of the problem with the crew is that they sort of fell apart cohesion-wise, Roland's goal is going to be help everyone stay together more closely, not through like clutching them too tight, but rather teaching them how to be normal, well-adjusted people, insofar as you can be when you're that powerful.
So they may all be sociopaths, but at least there'll be a family of sociopaths.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just gonna write that down. Family of sociopaths.
Seems accurate.
All right. We'll move from there to B. B, what elements of the story would you like to explore? Where do you want to go with B this season?
I think B's focus is finding who she is again. She's no longer Zep's ward. Now she's Zep's keeper in a way, and she needs to continue to break away. And she just lost one parental figure, so she's probably going to cling pretty closely to Clarion, which means she's very much into the burning the Empire to the ground.
Okay, so trying to discover who she is as a young woman who is constantly stuck in the form of a child forever, with the motherly figure of Clarion following her around, which means you'll probably be tied into the stories that Clarion chooses as well, and burning the Empire to the ground in whatever fashion that means during that season. Next up, Clarion. Where do you want to see us explore?
Clarion definitely is looking to become something beyond a medic. What form is that's going to take depends on what kind of frictions develop, I think. Uh, I'd like to think that we saw a little bit of that with Clarion trying to help Lefe be a better captain and think more.
True.
Um, and definitely the no masters, no empires tack is going to be big with her. She's going to do a cosmetic change and her colors are red and black. So definitely big anarchist flag flying on this automaton.
Absolutely. And I'm
Um,
assuming you're also looking for your previous master with the no masters, no empire thing.
yes. If she can get the Sparrows to take him out with force, that would be great. If she has to go it alone, she'll go it alone. But she hopes she doesn't have to.
Absolutely understandable. Excellent. Okay, so following Herschel McCree. Which should be interesting. A little bit of overlap back and forth that would be a lot of fun to play off of. Speaking of overlap, Leifei. Where do you want to see Leifei go, Kai?
I didn't show it at all this time, but sort of the raw bad side. For what I'm leaning in, Leife has shown that he is a pretty bad captain so far. And Leife sort of understands that, but isn't in. He doesn't do that. He's not like, oh right, I should correct something about this. He's not there yet. He's not there at all. So I'm still just like having Leife just be like cocky and hasn't learned his lesson.
Cocky hasn't learned his lesson. Still gonna make some bad decisions. Got it. I mean, you're an elf.
He's running
Takes a
off
while to
like,
learn.
oh, we took out Dead Iron. I've got some questions about that, but like we're on a win, right? Oh, we got disbarred.
I
Whatever.
mean, to be perfectly honest, from one aspect, all of you succeeded. I mean, you took out a big threat, you dealt with something horrible, you fought a sky kraken and won. There's a lot of winning that happened there.
There's wins there.
But if
However,
you look at it from a different perspective, the whole season was nothing but an abject failure.
it's true. We repaired our ship and it got destroyed.
Yep.
We did this, we failed this and that. And he's taken a lot of those on his back. He took the sword from Cutlass's hands from the ship and put it on his back, but he's not holding it in his hands truly.
Yep, it's there, but it's not wielded
And
appropriately yet.
he might never. Leifei has been first mate for a long time, and is he a good captain? Is sort of the leaning I'm taking on for the next one.
Exactly.
And as
go
well
ahead.
for that, he's looking towards, just like Ben said, with Roland leaning in towards Leifei. From the early on points, Leifei has looked towards Roland a lot of the time to see if this is the right direction. He sees him as a guiding figure. And seeing that Amos has, well, not seen so far, but seen now that Amos is moving on, that's Leifei's fault. More than anybody, more than anything, that's Leifei's fault. And he is now taking that at a head.
Understandable. What about the long-term greater conflict that is going to be something Leifei has to contend with whether he wants to or not? You're going to be pulled in directions by both the Tayal, by individual forces that are trying to use your status and who you are as a thing. You had the fact that you existed turn into Cutlass's death in this last season. So,
yeah,
what do you think about those aspects of the story?
What do I think, or does Lefe think? That's two different things.
Well, what does Leifei think? Excuse me.
He doesn't like the tile. That much is obvious. He doesn't take sides in most things. In the same way, he's not taking sides right now with the Sparrows.
Mhm.
I was sending some messages about, but Leifei is not certain if the Sparrows are the Sparrows
Oh
or if we are the
no!
Sparrows.
Some contention. Decide to
Ooh.
usurp the name. That's what I'm hearing.
Not.
from you.
Some people can take it like that.
Do we want to be with Cal or do we want to fly free?
Sparrows
Ooh.
fly free.
So
He likes Cal.
from there, we will have some points that obviously are going to get hit next season. That see how that turns out. We'll move on over from there to Jackal and the new character Conrad. What do you want to explore? This is a new character in the world, of course, but there are still some themes that you'd like to maybe follow up with the character. What type of things you want to see happen?
I'd like Conrad to either make peace with their demons or be incredibly and wholly consumed by them. Maybe break some noses along the way and party so hard that someone ends up with their head on a pike the next morning outside of the dock in front of their own ship just to mess someone up and some sort of stuff like that. And I'm not going in a complete total anarchist direction. No, sir. That said, yeah, Conrad's got some girl problems that he needs to resolve. Maybe not for the better. Up to you, Ty.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with your old crew after all of this. So just so everybody's aware, Conrad is a Wormheart, the
Ooh.
class that was given the go ahead by the community from the Kickstarter. So it is very beta and might require some additional changes as we continue to play with the character.
A
Up until the
what
point where
heart?
I'm a human
Wormheart.
science experiment.
WYRMHEART. Wormheart. He happens to be
Oh.
cursed. Now, the Wormheart is special. Some of his abilities cause him to gain in what's called sorrow, and if he reaches a certain amount of that, his character has one scene, and then he becomes an NPC trying to destroy everything in its path. So try to help him stay away from his own inner demons, or he will not have a playable character anymore after a period of time.
2 sessions, I'm calling it.
2 sessions. It is possible. It is possible if someone really pushes that hard on it. All of them are based around personal mutations and him losing himself to his inner monster. Anyway, so we'll move on from there to Selfies, to Umbra. What do you want to explore with Umbra this season?
I think what I want, I think the main things I want to explore with him, there's a couple things. One, it's like he's been solo for so long, so seeing him actually kind of get grounded a bit with being around people and potentially maybe learning to trust them more than just like disposable assets, that could be very interesting. I also think that could potentially help ground some of his insanity that he's going on. I'm really looking forward to exploring the kind of the madness system with him. But like his primary goals would be, get as much power as possible from Aether magic, especially now that he's on the forbidden side of Aether magic. He just wants to like hit that to 12 as fast and as hard as he can. And he literally wants to become he wants to be the thing that his previous organization feared the most and tried to hunt down. He wants to be that and use it to destroy that organization.
So
Like, that's
you're
a-
literally embracing the worst aspects you possibly can of magic in an attempt to become the monster they all feared.
Yeah, because they're a bunch of dicks, and he doesn't really think kindly of them after their treatment of him, and that's basically what he wants to do. So I think like that is his ultimate goal. But I think learning to be around people again and letting people in would be a very interesting thing for him, since he's literally basically just been an animal on the run or caged for a very, very long time.
That'll be interesting to experience. For any of you that know the lore of Aether and Steamworks, there's only one type of magic that's currently outlawed by the Empire, and that is death, entropy, and corrosion. So from that statement, Umbra is following the path of the Deathless. Something very, very scary. So we'll
Death
see.
magic Aether Maid. Yay.
We'll see how that turns out. All right.
Fascinating. I will have to collaborate with you on several experiments.
Oh God, no! Patches number 2 coming right up your alley. Anyway, so yes, this has been the epilogue. We now know the direction that things are heading. Amos has traveled off and said farewell. We have new crewmates. We're about to witness kind of a sidestep from the Sparrows as this crew decides to maybe set up their own group or try to gain their way back in or try to usurp the damaged nature that the Sparrows have according to some sort of other ideology. We'll see how that turns out. In the meantime, this has been Sparrows. Next season is called Truth and Consequence, and we will be airing that somewhere right around January. So keep an ear out for that. We'll keep everybody informed. In the meantime, well, the next show you can see is next week, as a matter of fact. I believe we have, Misguided Souls on Thursday. Then we have, oh shoot, is that next week? Hold on, let me look at my calendar real quick, because we have a bunch of things kind of coming up all at once.
It's my birthday on Monday.
We have the Honeycomb Sting on Friday with the Waffles Maple Syrup crew and a few of the other members of the community we have joining that. And then we have another one with the Banana Group on Sunday, which Atomic here is going to be showing up in as Jules. So just a few things this week. And then I think that's everything for a little bit of time. We'll be having multiple Misguided Souls episodes for a little bit until January comes around. And we have the Unremarkables on Saturdays starting next week. So that is everything. Right? Yes. Thank you very much for popping out, for taking part in this epilogue. Hope you're looking forward to the next season, which I definitely am. And we'll see you all next time, everyone. Goodbye.
See ya.